And good morning, everybody. It's been a while, and I just want to start off by saying Happy Midsummer's Eve. And this is a favorite time of the year for me, and it just reminds me of, years ago when I used to get together with girls. Um, we do our circles, and Midsummer's Eve was my day to do a circle celebration, and all of us badass witches got together, and I just reintroduced everybody back to the four elements, the undines, the sylphs, the salamanders, the gnomes, and I just thought, what perfect time than Midsummer's Eve, summer solstice, another time when the veil between the two worlds are the thinnest. And I had fairy lights, I had mason jars with little candles inside of them hanging all over the trees, and we had the circle, and it was really interesting because during the circle, we're all sitting there, and I had 70 acres at the time, and we were sitting out in the area that was pretty remote. And during the meditation and celebration, we could hear this really strange, like a humming or a beating, but it was like a hummingbird wing. You know how that sounds. And it started far away. And the further we got into the meditation, the closer it got. And we were down in a draw. So the ground above, around us kind of went up. And the sound, this beating like a million wings, kept getting louder and louder and louder. And some of us started getting a little bit nervous, but I had put a circle around us, so we were protected. But it just, we were contacted, so they were telling us that they were here. So I just found that very interesting, and it goes to show you that some of them were pretty nervous about this, and it's like, yeah, you walk around and you believe all this stuff until it happens. And then when it really happens and it's real, it's right there, it's hard to believe that it's really happening. It kind of goes along with the event. And, a lot of people have gotten all caught up into the event, but I'm seeing this huge shift. And a lot of people are starting to say, I'm not going to follow any more of these videos. I'm not going to listen to these people. Everybody is regurgitating the same information. And it's almost like everybody is using this event to maybe get a little bit more notice. And I pulled away from it a while ago. And I just found myself, I had gotten all caught up into that anticipation. And the anticipation was making me wait. And what it was doing to me personally, and I think a lot of you are going to agree, was it was stopping my living. I was spending too much time wondering what everybody else was getting, what was going on Facebook, and what was going on YouTube, and who's saying what about what. And so I was spending too much time watching other people, and instead of spending the time on myself and saying, you know what, I'm going to pull back from this. I feel that I am already in the fifth dimension. And instead of waiting around for this fifth dimension to come, I am going to start acting like I am living already in the fifth and sixth and seventh dimension. And I'll tell you what, a lot of my a lot of that anticipation, which was causing me to just have, it was lowering my vibration is what it was doing. It was making me feel depressed because I was waiting for something that was already there. But because everybody's going, the event is coming soon, the event is coming soon, the event is coming this day, the event is coming that day, and it wasn't, it was like, and I've said it before, the carrot before the horse. The horse never catches up to that prize. We're always working towards it. And, you know, what you believe is what you perceive. So if we believe that the event is coming soon, it'll never get there. We'll never get there. So I just had to pull back, and a lot of people out there were feeling the same thing. It was almost like this event had turned into more of the false light demiurge. You know, let's infiltrate and let's keep their minds busy on something that they're always going to aspire to instead of something that's already there. And they're just going to keep aspiring to it and aspiring to it and going to it, and it's never coming. And it's going to keep their minds busy, and it's going to take them off of their path. It's going to take them away from their mission as to why they're here. And that's exactly what it was doing to me. And, you know, I got to the point where the more videos I watched, the more I was getting turned off by it. And at first I thought, what the heck is wrong with me? You know, do I have an attachment? Do I have some dark attachments that's keeping me away from this and making me feel indifferent to this? And it was the opposite. Being attached to this was not what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be out there living my life. And so when I decided to turn this around and stop aspiring to this event, things started happening. My bad moods lifted. My indecision lifted. My just sitting around waiting and feeling depressed because, oh, I know what's coming and it's not here, and I feel so bad because I want it here now. Why isn't it here now? What's wrong with me? Why ain't I experience what some of these people are saying is out there? So I just decided it was time to get out of that mindset. And when I did, things just started exploding. And a lot of you know that I'm a healer. And, you know, I stopped healing because I thought, well, if the event is coming, everybody's going to be healed. They're all going to go on their spaceships and they're all going to be healed, and they're all going to come back to Earth, and the ETs are going to heal Earth. And why do I even have to bother? So a lot of my stuff had gone by the wayside, and which was wrong. And so many of us have done the same thing. We've just kind of stopped doing what we've been doing. And I'll tell you what, I was more psychic. I was doing more of my work. I was more in tune 20 years ago before I heard about the event. So I have to recapture that. I have to get back to that. And so my healing, it was just like the synchronicities just started flowing to me. It was like I was open back up again. And all of this information was coming to me. And, you know, I have scoliosis. So I've been dealing with, especially since I walked away from my path, I've been dealing with a lot more scoliosis pain. And it's mostly in my neck region. And, you know, if you have constant neck pain and migraines and headaches, and if you move your head wrong, it's just like sudden migraine that does not go away, and all you can do is go to bed, that stops you from your path. That stops you from doing, you know, what you came here to do, because you're in pain all the time. And, you know, so I was like, well, you know, I don't need to worry about healing because the event is coming soon and I'll be healed. Well, I've been thinking that for what, how many years now? And so I got back on my healing path, and you know, so many different things have come to me, and now everything's starting to click and make sense. And um, I have more of a direction of where I'm going to go now and what I'm going to do. I felt like I was in limbo. How many of you felt like you're in limbo? It was just like, I couldn't decide. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do that. And I couldn't decide. I was just like stuck in this limbo because in the back of my mind, I was waiting for the event. And it wasn't coming. And, you know, yeah, we were having dreams, but, you know, we spend so much of our waking hour talking about it. And that, why wouldn't it infiltrate our dreams at night? So I just had to pull away from it. And because I'm a Reiki master, Reiki is like a base of your healing abilities. It's just like ground level. And then you go from there, and and there's so many different modalities, and you can integrate all these different modalities. And then all of a sudden, someone turned me on to, and like I said, synchronicities. I heard about it from somebody else, but it never really clicked. Even though I do a lot of muscle testing stuff, a lot of us, you know, when we do healing, we do muscle testing. And get rid of that. I'll get rid of my share screen. But I just thought that was so cute, because Midsummer's Night, you know, it's and the veil between the Fey world is the thinnest, and it's good time to reconnect with Mother Earth and in all the natural realms. And this has a lot to do with the event. And a lot of us are not doing this. So I lost my healing. Okay, here we go. Oh, and I got my little goddess, my primitive earth goddess that I made, rainbow moonstone, crystal, peridot. I think this is just a painted rock, but she's on my altar today. And my daughter gave me this really cool smoky quartz. I have this today, and I'm eating chili mangoes. I spent the morning out with my horse, and I have to tell you about that too. So, because we're going to talk about healing today. So I got turned on to the emotion code, and what it was, if you Google Dr. Bradley Nelson, an emotion code, you will find it. And it's about muscle testing, and I've done muscle testing for years, but I have never heard about it the way that he does it. He takes something that can take so long and so tedious to do, and he's condensed it. And when I was turned, and so a friend turned me on to this, and she was saying, you know, Reiki, yeah, we know all about Reiki. Reiki is a base, blah, blah, blah. She says, you need to talk to this person and see if she can help you with your scoliosis. And so I did. And she did emotion code on me. And you know, we have this, we forget that we're energy, and we live in this physical body. And, you know, we just think that the solid being cannot be changed or healed. And I've talked about this before, that we can heal ourselves. And I've been working on my neck for a long time, and it's just, there's always just enough left there to keep me from not doing what I should be doing. And so I was working with her, and she found some emotions, and some of these emotions were inherited, and she lifted a lot of these emotions, and my neck pain started to get better. But for me, you know, we have these ingrained programming that we still need to get rid of. And I was like, oh, this is too easy. Even though I preach that we can heal ourselves, this was just too easy. And I was afraid that this pain was just going to come back. It was all a trick, you know, and one day, you know, today I'm feeling great. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have it all back. And so, you know, a lot of us, we have layers and layers of emotions that we trap in our, emotions are energy. They're energy. Remember, everything is energy. Emotions are energy. So it's the same concept as when we work on our meridians, and our meridians are blocked. And the chi can't flow through the meridians because there's a block. That's what we're talking about. But they block these energies, we call them trapped emotions. These balls of energies can be trapped in any part of our body. And so Dr. Bradley has condensed it down to where you can muscle test and find the correct emotion. He has a chart, and you just use this chart and you can get to this emotion and clear this emotion right away. And it was just like, this was the missing link. I mean, it was just like, yes, oh my gosh. And so I started doing this, and right away, you know me, I love animals. I work with animals. That's where my healing work has done the most, is with the animals, especially the horses. And so today I decided I'm going to go out there with Ciara, and we just did some liberty work. You know, I didn't work her today. We just did some liberty. You know, I didn't have her in a bridle or anything, and we just did tricks and things. She was free to do it with me if she wanted to or not. And as long as I had goodies, she was willing to do it, you know. And it's really interesting because there's two other horses there, and another horse, her name is Dawn, and it's really funny. She was like a giveaway, and she came to our barn, and it's really funny because every time I hear doves, we have doves in our backyard, every time I hear the doves coming, I always think of Dawn. So this is the kind of personality this mare has. And so when I got done working with Ciara, my horse, usually likes to hang out with me until I leave. You know, she follows me around. Well, this morning, as soon as I got done with her, she walked right over to Dawn, and she nuzzled on Dawn's neck, and I just could hear her. Okay, go over by her. She can work on you. She's got something new. And I heard it, and I was like, oh, dang it, I forgot my flow chart, but I can do my other work on her. So she came over, and I was drawn to her left side, and she has issues in her atlas, and I worked on it before, and a lot of times they have issues, and then a week later they come back, the issue's back, and you clear it again, and then it comes back. And I had worked on this before, so today her left atlas was really bad, and so I went to put my hand, usually, you know, I just put my hands on where the bad area is and wait until they're ready to release. Well, oh my gosh, I put my hand there, and she just walked away from me right away. And I was like, oh, she don't want to be healed today. And as soon as she walked away from me, she looked at me and she started to yawn. And she yawned, and she yawned. She yawned 6 times in a row. That's a huge, huge release. And when she was done yawning, she came back. She was ready for war. I mean, she practically walked on top of me. She was just all ready. And I just, you know, it was funny because I've noticed since I pulled away from the event and decided I'm just going to continue my work that I came here to do, it's changed significantly. And now when I do the energy work, I don't have to stand there and keep my hands there forever. It's just like I put my hand there, and right away they're releasing right away. And at first I wanted to fight. It was like, you know, wait, come back here. I'm not done. I'm not done. And then, you know, the little voice inside says, no, they know exactly what they're doing. Trust yourself now. This is the time you need to trust yourself. And I was doing this with Ciara. And when I just let her be in charge, it was just like I put my hand, and all I had to do was just go like this, and she would release, and she would release, and she would release, and she would release. And it was like, it was just amazing. And so the same thing with Dawn, you know, and I didn't even have a halter. Usually you have to have a halter on. I would put my hand, wipe it down. She'd walk away. She'd release. She'd come right back. She'd move her body, you know, whatever part needed to be worked on, you know. I mean, a big horse, she was just more than 1,000 pounds. She's a pretty good sized quarter horse, but she's like, right here, right here, right here. And I put my hand and she'd release right away. So that is something new now that's going on. And I think a lot of us, if we would just let go of the old school ways, it has to be done this way. We have to do it this way. I was taught this way. We are closing ourselves off of what is there now. We have stepped up now. I have stepped up into the higher dimensions. Yeah, I can still see all the crap around me, but I choose not to be part of it. But I choose to send the love now. And the interesting thing about the work is I'm using my heart more. And so, I've listened to the Heart Math Institute and a lot of their stuff, and how the heart, and I've said this before, the heart is its own entity. The brain has no emotion. The brain is like an archon. It has no emotion. The heart is where all of the emotion is. So when we're healing somebody, we have to remember to use our heart, not this that has no emotion. And so this is what I had stepped into. And they know those horses, the other two horses do not belong to me, but I love them as much as I love my own horse. And, a lot of these other horse people, I don't like that horse, or that horse does that, and I don't like that horse. And, these are people that their heart is blocked and they just don't have the correct information. They are still doing old school. I love all of them. And when I work on them, I get to experience the being, the true energetic being beneath that horse suit. And they give right back to me. And I've said this before. The Heart Math Institute will use horses for healing because they have their heart rate variable between each beat is very wide, where when a human is stressed or ill or whatever, their beat is quick, and the horse, because of their heart rate and their inner love that they have for us, can help our heart rate variable. They can change our heart rate variable to match theirs. So whenever I work with them, they are working on me. I am getting it back. So, I'm just saying that since I've decided to not keep walking towards that carrot that's dangling out there in front of us, I have pulled back from that. And I have decided that I am going to live my life again and start and integrate what's already here, because so many of us don't realize what's in us. I mean, all these energy waves that have been hitting us, we're not utilizing them. We're not using them because we're still stuck in that old programming. And so once we get out of that old programming and trust in our inner selves, trust in our heart, and not listen to the archonic brain, the reptilian brain, whatever you want to call it, we will start to actually experience what we've been waiting for. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I don't do these videos that often because I like to wait until I really have something that's helpful to give you guys. And I'm thankful for the ones that I am touching, and I hope you do the same. We all have something, but we have to stop and wait to hear from everybody else. What's everybody else doing? I should be doing what everybody else is doing. And I'm a perfect example. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Get rid of the old programming, the old paradigm. Find a healer somebody who can work with you to, if you have a heart wall. So many of us are walking around with heart walls. The people who do bad things to other people have heart walls. If you have issues, you have somebody work on you to help release your heart wall. I probably will be eventually working with people online, because, you know, we know now that I always was better at long distance healing anyways. And so eventually I will probably offering donation basis, helping people who still seem to have issues, or, you know, it's kind of hard to work on yourself. I find that it's hard to work on myself. So, you know, I look for somebody that I trust to help me, and I'm pretty picky about who touches me. Pretty darn picky. Anyways, stop looking for the event to happen. Start living it. Go back to living your life. You will be totally surprised about what you will find, because because we've been so worried about stepping forward, we've actually kind of stepped backwards. And I know I have. Like I said, 20 years ago, I was doing more than what I've been doing now. Yes, I wrote some books, you know, based on what's going on, you know, encoded with energies that will help people. And basically my deal is to reconnect people back to this planet. And so happy midsummer's eve, summer solstice, and get out there and connect with the Fey realm and connect with Gaia, and give her gratitude and be grateful. We just really need to be grateful. So many of us have forgotten about being grateful because we're waiting for something that isn't here yet. And it's frustrating us, and the anticipation is really not doing us any favors. So that's all I have to say today, guys. Just get out there and live your life and start doing it. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing, and trust your heart and trust what's in yourself. Talk to you soon.